While setting up your 3D pen studio, you may also want to get some support clay. There are at least 6 good reasons. Finalize your 3D design in clay first. That way, what you see now is what you get later. And if that sounds like a lot of work, remember that all bronze sculptures start out as clay sculptures. It's way easier to change your mind in clay than in a solid medium. The clay will hold in place all the extras, like the face features, for example. That way you can plan to leave holes where you will need to attach them later. And then the clay will assist you again in actually attaching them. Once you are done with the planning stages, you can just trace the 3D shape with your pen as simply and precisely as you would a 2D one. And most importantly, without fighting gravity. Whether you are using instant smoothing or filling your surface with custom textures, you couldn't do it with such a loose network. You would have to support it with a bunch of additional layers first, otherwise it would cave in with the heat, like so. But it will hold up just fine if the clay is in there. Same goes for smoothing with a melt tool. No heat cave-ins while the clay is in there. So don't take it out too soon. Last but not least, creating outer support. Let's say you need to strengthen the inside with additional layer or mount something to the inside of the shape. The outside clay support will keep it from potentially misshaping. So what are we looking for in a clay for 3D Pen Studio? Not all clays are created equal. What I found so far that works is plain old Play-Doh, the foam clays like Honey Clay, Model Magic by Crayola and Sesame Street Model Fluff, and Sculpt and Mold clay made by Hasbro, the Play-Doh people. And here is what I didn't have so much success with. Sculpey air dry clay, way too messy. Ceramic clay, not as messy but messy enough. Oil-based clay sculpts beautifully but reacts to heat, so the mess happens later once you touch it with the hot plastic. Polymer clays may potentially react chemically with the plastic, because the plasticizers present in polymer clays melt some plastics over time. And even though you take the clay out once you are done, some little crumbs always stay behind and may or may not eventually dissolve your project. However, our 3 minutes are up, so here is the longer video that goes more into details of testing which clays work, which don't, and why, if you need to know more.